Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to the 6th Congress of Education. It is my pleasure to be here today. And also, we are going to be introducing and having many interesting personalities speak today. Please don't forget that no food and drinks are allowed in the auditorium. Now I'm going to have the pleasure to introduce to you to one of the students from George Harvey, Pamela Alvarez.
Muy buenos días. Muy buenos días. En esta mañana tengo el honor de presentarles a Denise Montiel. Ella es una cantante muy conocida en los Estados Unidos, una persona muy luchadora porque ha sabido llegar hasta donde está. Y en esta mañana tiene el honor de cantarnos nuestro himno, O Canada. Gracias.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Denise Montiel became a music teacher in Woodbridge Fine Arts and Performing in 2000. Sorry. We're now going to present to you one of the students, Freddie, from York Memorial, who is going to give a thank you gift to Denise Montiel. Denise, if you can come up for a second. Now I'm going to introduce to you to Constable Scott Mills, who is also the Vice President of SEN. Scott Mills.
Thank you, Manuela. And I don't speak Spanish, so if you don't understand English, please listen to your translation. So my goal is to learn how to speak Spanish. Can you guys all help me with that? Yeah. Okay. I'm a Toronto police officer. I first became involved with the Spanish-speaking education network approximately 7 years ago. And the reason I became involved was just this, to have a full room of parents and kids together that are going to try and succeed here in Canada and just be awesome, be more than awesome. And how hard it is from a personal perspective to get up on a Saturday morning and get all your kids up and get to downtown Toronto for something like this. I've got my own mother here, and I've got my 2-year-old up there in the middle, and I'm with you. I just want you to know that I'm with you, and I want everybody that has made an effort to come here to take something away from today, and to share it with somebody, even if they're in a part of the world where they can't be here. and for whatever reason they can't be here. Maybe they're at home here in Toronto and they're sick. Maybe they woke up this morning and something wasn't right with one of their children and they just couldn't make it. What we're doing is we're live streaming everything that happens here today from the middle of the room there on a webcam and this microphone right here, and it's going live out onto YouTube, and it will stay out on YouTube. So if something catches your eye today or catches your ear and you want to go back and review it or share it with somebody, or maybe have a discussion with your child about, hey, maybe you could be like that person. That's what this is all about. And we want to be really inclusive and really welcoming of everybody that's come here. And we want to be welcoming to everybody here in Toronto, in the Spanish community, outside of Toronto in the Spanish community. We want to be inclusive to everybody. It doesn't matter if you're Canadian, you're Spanish Canadian, if you're Jamaican Canadian, it doesn't matter. We're all one, and we all want to learn together, and we all want success for our children and our families, and we all want to be safe. And so some people might say, why are you, Scott, involved in this as a police officer? It's because I can't be an effective police officer. Police officers can't be effective to keep our city safe if we aren't friends and we don't have trust with each other. And that's why I'm here. It's my passion to be here. I want to be here. And I hope everybody here wants to be here. So many people put so much work into today, but it's not just about today. It's about us maybe coming here today and being a little nervous and apprehensive and not really knowing what, or, you know, nervous, but we all drop that and we have some food together and we learn together and we leave by giving each other a hug and saying, we're going to do this together and we're there for each other as Canadians, as Spanish Canadians, and as people. Okay. So thank you very much, assets, and look forward to a good day.
Thank you, Scott. Our first speaker is Father Hernan Astudillo. In 1991, he was ordained as an Anglican priest in Canada and established the first Spanish-speaking congress in the Anglican parish. His contribution to the community and his society grow with every passing day. His empathy for the neglected and his love for humanity were instrumental in creating the community, along with the community, the Caravan of Hope, the San Lorenzo Latin American Community Center, and CHHA 1610 AM Radio Voces Latinas. Please put your hands together for Father Hernan Astudillo.
Doña Estela invited me to speak. A few days before, I left Toronto with a Caravan of Hope globally to Mexico. And I asked her what she wants from me. No? She said, come speak. About what? She said, come and let us to know a little steps about what you did. You know, I forget my glass, but Manorita, come. You have to speak this louder with all your lungs.
7 deadly sins: wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, science without humanity, knowledge without character, politics without principles, commerce without morality, worship without sacrifice.
To say that?
Sorry. Mahatma Gandhi.
Cambia lo superficial y también lo profundo, cambia el modo de pensar, cambia todo en este mundo, cambia el tiempo con los años, cambia el pastor su rebaño, y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño, cambia el más fino brillante, de mano en mano su brillo, cambia el nido el pajarillo, cambia el sentir el amante, cambia el rumbo el caminante, aunque esto le cause daño, y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño, cambia, todo cambia, cambia, todo cambia, me ayudan, a ver, cambia, todo cambia, cambia, todo cambia, cambia el sol de su carrera cuando la noche subsiste, cambia la planta y se viste de verde en la primavera, cambia el pelaje, la fiera y el cabello en el anciano, y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño, pero no cambia mi amor, por más lejos que me encuentre, ni el recuerdo ni el dolor de mi pueblo y de mi gente, y lo que cambió ayer tendrá que cambiar mañana, así como cambio yo en esta tierra lejana. Todos, cambia, todo cambia, más fuerte, cambia, todo cambia. Everything changes. In the world, everything changes. And it is very good to change for the good. We came to this country and with different kind of experience. We came from different countries. Like Scott was saying, we want to be inclusive. Every of us bring a small piece of hope and pain in our spiritual and our emotional pockets. And when we arrive in these countries, it is very good to share. If you do not share, we are condemned to live permanently in the ghetto. I came a long time ago, and my first experience was in the streets of Toronto. I was a street musician. Later, I was a TTC musician. And doing all of those activities, I discovered my priest vocation still was hiding in my life. It is very easy to be a priest, to have a wonderful chapel, to be rich, wear the white collar, and scare the people. But it is very difficult to be and follow Jesus Christ and take the risks. And you can be a leader from the Jewish religion, from the Islam religion, or the Buddhist religion, Baha'u'llah religion, any native religion, Christian religion of any church denomination, Catholic, Evangelical, it doesn't matter. But we have to have the risks, the good risks to become humans. And I remember when I was in my 22 years old, my bishop, Monsignor Luis Alberto Luna Tobar, One of the bishops who gave the life for the poor people, he told us, before to become Christian, please become human. If you do not become human, do not become a priest, because you will destroy the church. I'm speaking from the priest vocation. But you today are coming to enjoy about the 6th Congress of Education. Tagore, one of the wonderful guys, he say, if you provide the tools for education to the children, we will not need a reason to punish the humanity. So wonderful to see you today here. The prevention, it's the first and the best step. How gracious are you today? Doña Estela, I don't know what is Janet, Scott, all the board members of the SEM, all the organizations who are working, who are providing, who are cultivating a little drop of hope in the ways and the wells of education, you are doing the best miracles. I would like to repeat again what Gandhi said when Manuelita was reading. You are going to be the future professionals. And I believe from here, probably we will have the First Minister of Canada, a Latino First Minister of Canada, a mayor, a First Minister of the province. We need to have a professionals with ethics, with love. It is very easy to be a professional or to become part of the traditional education. Mijito, sé ingeniero porque vas a hacer mucha plata. Mijito, sé abogado porque vas a hacer mucha plata. Desde ya han fregado a la comunidad. Desde ya me lo han fregado a todos. My love, you have to be a president because you will steal a lot of money. Please, please encourage your children, even if they want to be a cleaners in the night, but do with love, with passion. Please inspire your children to do everything what they want to be in the life with vocation. Don't force them. Because my neighbor has a daughter, a son who is a lawyer, don't force them and say, you have to be like them. Because my neighbor has a Mercedes-Benz and you have a horse, it doesn't mean he is more than you. The human values are the most important elements in our lives. The human values. Our education system in different countries, it's completely a disaster because many of the governments, they are dedicating probably the 80% of their budgets to the violence, to other issues, and probably the 5% of the budget to the education. When the most important step in the society, it's the education. It needs to be invested probably the 50% of the budget in education. I just came yesterday from Mexico, you know. I don't know how many of you are listening CHH 1610 AM, Radio Voces Latinas. How many of you? Good, good. That radio we create to unite the community. I have many advisors and they told to me many times, Father, you have a gold mine. I say, what's happening? A gold mine, you can make a lot of money with a radio. And I say to them, we did not get a license to get money. We get a license to inform, to educate, to unite the community. I'm sorry, we are speaking two different languages. We left October 29 with 3 buses to Mexico. You know what's happening there? In the border of Mexico and United States, in this moment are 60,000 children younger than your children here. 1 month and a half, 2 years. And many of them, they are in the detention centers and in the shelters. I'm going to tell you only 3 examples. After we left Toronto, run. The first problem we have in Arkansas, one bus was broken. So we were waiting there for 2 days. I believe profoundly in the providence. All bus broke just 1 kilometer far away from the mechanic and the hotel. Only one problem. The majority of my volunteers, we were 14 people. We arrived, in the United States, there is many politics between the evangelical church. And in some states, there are dry states. You cannot drink a cervecita or vino. And we arrived in dry condado, they call it. So my friends were upset. Anyway, after the 2 days, we continued the caravan of hope. We arrived in McAllen, where is the epicenter, where the children are coming from Central South America to Canada, to the United States. The Mexican government did not let the bus to go in. The Mexican customs, they didn't like the bus to go in. And they say, because they are protecting the ecosystem, the pollution. But after a conversation, one of the Mexican guys who was helping us say, and what happens if they will pay the taxes? I said, oh yes, the bus might come in, it's not a problem. Everything works with corruption. When I speak about the Mexican, I speak about the corruption in the border. The Mexican people are wonderful people, beautiful people. You can feel, you can share, and you can live the dignity. So we were in the first place in Monterrey, where is more than 100 children. A woman from Peru came with a little box and say, Father, can you bless this little box? I asked her, what's here? My child. He was 2 years old and he died because we don't have a medical attention. We are immigrants. Think about that. Think about that. Next night we went to the south to visit Monterrey, where is a community called El Saltillo. How many of you know El Saltillo? Somebody knows Saltillo? Close to Monterrey? There is the epicenter of Zetas. You know who are the Zetas? Zetas and Golfo, those are the true narco organizations fighting, and the police and the military, they cannot do anything. And Padre Pedro, he's a holy man. He said, come, come. When we walk in the area, we find 50 brothers, immigrants, sleeping in the floor. We went to the kitchen, sleeping in the floor. We arrived around 5 a.m. 200 children, single mothers, and youth. And think how you are here in Canada. Later, we fly from Monterrey to Ciudad Juarez. We were walking, not walking, but driving around 11 o'clock. No people in the city. And we asked for the taxi driver, what happened? This is a fantastic city, no people. And say, Father, it is hard to walk during the day, 11 a.m. And we visited one of the areas where a child of 12 years old from Ecuador was assassinated. Jocelyn. She left Ecuador on February of this year, arrived early in March, and she was abused and killed. And there is not justice.
Hace mucho tiempo que yo vivo preguntándome para qué la tierra es tan redonda y una sola no más. Si este mundo es uno para todos, todos juntos vamos a vivir. Si este mundo es uno para todos, todos juntos vamos a vivir.
We must seek the child Jesus and the pretty. We must not seek the child Jesus and the pretty figures of our Christmas cribs. We must seek him among the undernourished children who have gone to bed at night with nothing to eat, among the poor newsboys who will sleep covered with newspapers and doorways. Gracias. Que Dios les pague. Un feliz día.
And now, I would like to thank Father Hernan Astudillo for being here.
Our next speaker is the leader from. Our next speaker is Ms. Donna Quan. She brings 30 years of education experience to her position as the Director of Education and Secretary-Treasurer of the Toronto District School Board. She began her education career with teaching roles in elementary schools, including experience in French immersion and out-of-province native reserve schools. So please put your hands together for Ms. Donna Quan.
Good morning. Thank you to Father Hernan for your engagement through music. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you. You're wonderful. Good morning again. It's my pleasure to be here as part of the Toronto District School Board, as your director in the City of Toronto, one of the directors in Toronto. And our education system is so important to have opportunity to address parents and students together. It's a pleasure to sit amongst Emmanuel there, a grade 5 student, to hear his voice to say that he still speaks the Spanish language and he values it. I would like to applaud Emmanuel and all the students here who are maintaining their mother tongue in terms of language. And I share that with you because did you know 500 million residents speak Spanish worldwide? 200 million mother tongues are spoken in Canada. 22 have 100,000 speakers or more. These are the categories: Punjabi, followed by Chinese, and closely by Spanish. The most studied language worldwide is Spanish. 40 million students in 90 countries want to learn Spanish. In the US, by 2050, 1 in 3 residents will speak Spanish. It will be the #1 Spanish-speaking country. And why do I share that with you today as I speak to the leaders and to the people who are before us? When we talk about building our children's future together, your sons and your daughters, one of the keys to success is not the number of degrees you may choose to hold, but the currency of the future will be the skills and the languages and the competencies that you choose to embrace. So what I would like to say to you today in a very short time, because I know we're behind time here, I'm pleased and excited to be part of the conversation today for this Congress event. The 6th Congress of Education 2014 program is outstanding. To the organizers, I applaud you for pushing forward, because I do recall the first Congress and the challenge to put that together, and the fact that you have now reached the 6th and that we have an audience here, and I hear that some of you are here because you've heard the advertisement on the Spanish radio station. So the fact that you're here and that we're reaching out to communities is so critical. I'm pleased to be part of this because your focus today is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Why is this important? When I thought about it, there are in fact a few courses 15 years ago that were taught today as well as 15 years ago. What's important is the workforce of the future. We do understand that we want, as moms and dads, I'm a mother of 3 children, and I want for my children to be publicly productive, to be to be independent in their thinking and to acquire employment and to be successful, to earn a living. But what's also important is that they are privately happy, publicly productive to give to society, and privately content with the lives they choose to lead. And as we are educators here and the people that are in the room, one of the key areas in the future will be science, technology, engineering, and math. And tomorrow's generation, how many students in here are born from 1995 and above? Raise your hand. And to the parents that are here, those sons and daughters are known as Generation Z. Each generation is labeled, that's Generation Z. Anybody born 1995 and above. And Generation Z is far more borderless that you are, borderless with the technology you choose to use. You can engage with friends around the world anytime, right? Do you have friends around the world? What's your name? You have friends in other parts of the country? And you engage that conversation through technology. So as we move forth in terms of science, technology, and engineering and mathematics, a solid STEM foundation helps fuel curiosity, problem solving, and solution finding approaches to everyday solutions. But beyond that, it is about engagement. Learning must be relevant, dynamic, and applicable to students' everyday life. The kind of learning we're seeking today using STEM principles to analyze a real-world event that's taking place in Toronto, for example, the Pan Am Games, is exactly what is going to fuel and excite learners. As part of our TDSB direction, we have a strong STEM focus. We want every student to understand science, technology, engineering, and math together, not in isolation. It is critical that we work together as parents to understand why this is important. As we move forward, Do you know that 70% of jobs of the future require STEM education, including skilled trades? That it is a billion-dollar industry in the years ahead if you have the ability to inquire, to think with science, with engineering and mathematics. So those are the subjects, students who are here, that I really encourage you to really pay attention to. Pay attention to your science classes, anything to do with technology, anything to do with hands-on experiential learning, where you can think about solving problems with friends, with classmates, but also taking on problems that you don't know the answer to. That is the key to success. Don't be afraid to say, especially to the students here, I don't have the answer, and I want to work with you on finding the answer. STEM is about problem solving, inquiry, analyzing. So in your schools, in the Toronto District School Board, we have a strong STEM focus. All our schools will have kits which have hands-on learning in terms of inquiry and problem solving. I know that time is short, and I know you want to get to your next speaker, and you've been sitting for a while, so I will conclude with the comments that there are two things that I would encourage parents to really, really emphasize with their learners, with their children. One, the currency of the future is inquiry, is to have a curious mind, be able to think beyond what is before you with just knowledge and regurgitating knowledge. So the act of inquiry is what STEM is about. The second thing, parents, I would really encourage, and the children and the youth here, is maintain your mother tongue. Because without both, for you to compete on the world stage, it'll be a lot tougher. So maintain a universal language, your own mother tongue, and learn as many languages as you can. And also maintain an inquisitive mind. Always inquire, always challenge, and recognize that the answers may not be right in front of you, but seek that curiosity that you want to find answers together. Inquiry is important, and that's part of the STEM focus. So with that, I'm very pleased to support the work of the Congress and building our children's future together, and I look forward to supporting the 7th Congress of Education 2015 program from the Toronto District School Board. So thank you, parents and students, for being here, and to the partners, and also my guest speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Donna Quan.
And now we would like to thank Ms. Donna Quan, for being part of the 6th Congress of Education and presenting you with this gift.
Now we are going to hear from the founder of SEN and one of the longest volunteers, Estela Cuenca. Please put your hand together.
Buenos días, queridos padres. Es un gran placer tenerlos el día de hoy acá. Pienso que este es el primer paso para el gran cambio, el éxito rotundo que nos va a embarcar de hoy en adelante, por todo el apoyo que tenemos de nuestros queridos y elite especializados en las academics que necesitamos para tener éxito en el futuro, para poder tener los trabajos del mañana. Y diciendo esto, quiero presentar a nuestra respetable y queridísima Cristina Amón, que es la decana de esta facultad. Gracias, Cristina, por estar el día de hoy acá. Gracias. Y por representar a todas las mujeres. Gracias.
Buenos días. Donna, thank you so much for your inspiring words, and actually it's a great segue to my brief remarks. First, I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of the University of Toronto and thank the organizers of the 6th Congress of Education, and also for choosing such an inspiring theme, which is building our children's future together. Un par de palabras solo en español. Quiero darles una gran bienvenida a este evento fabuloso. Me alegra muchísimo verlos aquí participando en este evento tan importante para inspirar el futuro de nuestros hijos. Here at the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering of the University of Toronto, we're very excited to partner with SEN, the Spanish-speaking education network, in this remarkable collaboration. Both organizations have and share similar goals, and one of them is to encourage and fostering the involvement in the subjects related to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And certainly I'm very deeply honored to be here both as the dean of this wonderful faculty and as a proud Hispanic from Latin America. The goals for DOC are twofold. First, I would like to share a little bit with you about my background and my journey to where I am today, and perhaps try to put that in context of the STEM field. And then tell you also a little bit about the engineering career, the engineering profession, and the very many opportunities that a career in engineering offers to have and make meaningful contributions to society. And then connect this to how I feel you students should be preparing now as middle school and high school in order to apply for an undergraduate degree in the area of engineering and STEM in general. So first about myself. It certainly means a great deal to be able to tell my story to you. And it's something, at least the beginning of it, that I haven't shared it since I moved from the United States to Canada 8 years ago. I was born in Uruguay, South America, and my parents were immigrants. They came to Uruguay from what is today Slovenia. It's a small country in Eastern Europe, limiting Hungary, Austria, and Italy. So my parents were raised at the time that the Second World War came. So my mother had only 3 years of elementary school education, and my father also didn't finish grade school. He went only to 5 years of education. But in spite of this, one of the things that I remember so vividly is what a priority was for them to make sure that their children could get the best education they could, and encourage continuously to try different things, to have the experiential learning in all sorts of activities. And shortly, I'll tell you a story about a radio. But what I want for that is that I truly believe that was the encouragement and the continuous support of my parents that gave me the initiative to go through a career in engineering. And today, as a proud mother of 2 wonderful children, both engineers, I couldn't possibly appreciate more the importance of education. So my belief is that parents, the best legacy we can leave to our children is a solid education. Is the joy to work hard, the enthusiasm, and the burning interest to continuously improve. As we would say in Spanish, superarnos continuamente. And It is education which will enable to open us many doors and to make more meaningful contributions to society. So after I was raised in Uruguay when I was 17 years old, we moved to Venezuela, where I did my undergraduate studies in engineering. And I never had a clear idea of where my career was going or what I was going to do in the future. I always had a passion for teaching. So when I was in high school, my role models were two teachers, one in math and the other in physics. And I could see myself like teaching math and physics. And that's to some extent why I started to go into the area of science and engineering. But once I got to the university, I thought, well, I also enjoy being with university students and the opportunity to do research in addition to education. So again, my goals were moving towards what I'm doing now, and that is a career in academia. So I like to share with you a brief story of an experience that I had when I was a little girl. And it has to do with what I thought the radios had at that time. So for parents here, you may recall that in the 60s, there was not TV yet in the homes, not in South America. In North America was starting to appear, but we used to have radios. And those were bulky devices, the size of, say, a microwave oven today. For me, it was a magic box filled with music, laughs, words, voices. And I thought I loved to see who was inside there, who were the little people who were singing and talking and laughing. So I wanted to meet them when one day my parents were away at the house. I took the radio apart, and to my big surprise, I didn't find little people there. What I found were vacuum tubes at that time and resistors and some electronics. And I guess that was my first failed experiment. My first research, perhaps disappointment. It didn't go as planned. When parents came home, as you may imagine, was not a good day at the lab. But I think what I then realized, and much more now, is how much we also learn from failures. So it is important that we try different things, not be concerned to fail, provided we will get from that experience the courage to keep trying and doing better. A lot of time we don't even try something because we are concerned of not succeeding. If we succeed from the onset, there is not learning. It's a good feeling, absolutely, but the learning comes from the things that don't work as we planned the first time. Going back to what I did quickly after I graduated as an engineer. I practiced 2 years in the engineering field, and then I decided, because of my passion in teaching, to go to graduate school, which then would enable me to be teaching, but at the level of a university. And I had the great privilege to then come to Canada to become the Dean of the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering here, which is both a tremendous honor, but also a tremendous responsibility to lead the new programs, the education of the next generation of engineers, as well as to provide incentives and leadership in the research areas that we work here at the university. Let me now say a few words about the engineering profession. As you probably realize by now, I am a very proud engineer. And I also feel that in general, we don't have the knowledge of what an engineering profession could bring us, what opportunities we have to make improvements in society and in everyday life with an engineering profession. So my goal will be to just say a few words here and see perhaps that interest in some of the young generations of Spanish speaking people here in Canada, for you to consider the possibility of a career in engineering and what I think you should be doing now that you are in middle school, in high school, to prepare you for that. So the contributions of engineers and engineering can be found in every aspects of our daily lives. If we look at the past, say water supply distribution, electricity, telecommunications, automobiles, airplanes, electronics, computing, all these are great achievements and innovations led by the contributions of engineers. Imagine what would be our life today without electricity or without transportation. And those are innovations from the last 2 centuries. If we look at our present, just within the last 10 years, it has been the advancement of the internet, the cell phones, the mobile devices, something we didn't have even 10 years ago. And there is no doubt to any of us here that that has transformed the way we live our lives. So how about the future? There is so much need in so many areas that technology and engineering can influence in incredible ways, and some of it not imaginable at this time. For instance, engineering and engineers can help to solve the problem of having clean water for billions of people in the world. Still, some people need to walk kilometers to get a bag of clean water, a bucket of clean water. We can bring energy to remote locations, First Nations here in Canada or in other places of the world. We can decrease malnutrition in large number of young children in many parts of the world by the contributions of engineers working together with other fields. And we can indeed make contributions to improving the quality of life in any aspect we define in our daily lives. And also lots of the innovations go here at the engineering schools in Canada. And I was going to tell you about some of the research areas that we do at the University of Toronto, but in the interest of time, I'll be more than glad to talk to some of you later on, but I will skip the component of sharing with you the amazing work that our students and our researchers do here at the University of Toronto. Besides the wonderful career opportunities as an engineering or as an engineer, also the undergraduate field of engineering is a wonderful platform to launch a career in many different directions. Some of our graduates or undergraduate students who graduated from our faculty have gone into the field of medicine, law, public policy, and many also, if we look at different countries, say, if we look at the leadership in the government in China, the majority of the cabinet have an undergraduate degree in engineering. So you may wonder why an education in engineering may be so useful for many career paths. And just in a few words, it is the systematic approach to problem solving. It is the creativity and the innovation that come within. It is the analytical competencies that we gain in the study of engineering, that also the ability to learn how to learn and to continue creating knowledge in the future. We don't know, as Donna was saying, what are the jobs of the future and what are the opportunities. However, if we have a strong analytical skill and problem-solving skill, we always, and the ability to generate new knowledge, we will always find exciting opportunities or create exciting opportunities. Now, my last point in this brief talk will be, what does it take to become an engineering student? Or as a matter of fact, a student in the STEM broad area, science, technology, engineering, and math. And what preparation you, our new generation, students in this room, will need in order to apply for an engineering degree. First, I would say, learn to love math. Math is not a mystery. Math is mostly a set of rules. What we need is to practice and to practice over. As we practice more, we get more confident and we like to do what we do well and we keep improving. At the beginning, maybe a steep hill. I'm not saying no, but be persistent and you will go over the hill and you will feel that you enjoy doing math. Similarly, once you get to high school, stretch yourself, take courses in physics, take courses in biology. You will need them if you are going to apply for a degree in engineering, but also if you will do something different in terms of your higher education, these are extremely useful knowledge to have because we live in a high-tech society. So do take STEM courses. Do explore things and develop your curiosity in asking what is the principle, why this works in this way, how things work. And my recommendation will be apply yourself, love to learn more every day, and set ambitious high goals, particularly at this important and formative stage of your life. Aspire big dreams or dream big, but also work hard and you will indeed have a very bright future ahead of you. And to the parents, my recommendation will be to set high expectations for your children. Encourage them and support them enthusiastically in every way you can to reach a solid education and to reach their dreams. I would like to thank all of you who have enriched our Congress today by your participation and the participation you will have in the next sections. To the parents in this room, again, I would like to thank you for inspiring and encouraging your children to aim high, and also to take proactive actions to help them reach their dreams, and to pursue an education and strive continuously so we are building our children's future together. And once again, to the young generation, I hope you will be thinking in the many opportunities that a career in STEM and a career in engineering offers. and you will prepare yourself now while you are in elementary, middle, or high school to be ready when the time comes with the strong foundation in STEM courses. I wish you all the best in this journey. But before I conclude, I also would like to give a few huge thanks. First, to all of you for participating in our Congress, then to the CEN organizers for your tremendous work to put together this event. And also my deep gratitude goes to our people at the University of Toronto, Valentina Lopez, who is a brilliant officer in our recruitment office. She's also outside if you want to learn more about engineering and applying to an engineering degree. Dawn Britton and her team, she's the outreach director in the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering, and Professor Micah Stickle, who is the first year chair in engineering. Muchas gracias a todos y les deseo la mejor de la dicha en éxito. Gracias.